Okay, so how we can reduce methane is where your research comes in, right? So you're developing a vaccine. What is it and how does it work?
Yeah, we're back onto cow farts, ladies and gents, and the prevention of.
Yeah, look, what happens is we don't want those bacteria that make the methane to be in the stomach. So what we do is we are adding a vaccine to the cow. The cow will generate antibodies in its saliva. So like we do when we get vaccinated, it makes antibodies. And then the saliva is full of antibodies. They go with the saliva into the stomach, where they attach to the bacteria and stop them from growing, and therefore stop the methane production.
That sounds... It's not just me, but that sounds absolutely insane. It sounds so against nature and what you should be doing. Yeah, I think her face sums it up.
So very similar to what we do with vaccination, except in this case it's targeting the bacteria inside the cow's stomach.
Wow. So when is this technology available?
We're working currently, we're being funded by the government and by industry through the Pastoral Greenhouse Gas Research.
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you're receiving many a dollar, yeah, in funding such crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? It's totally insane. These people are insane. Yeah, whether they're in a lab or whether they're out on the field looking and poking at the actual cow's arse as they're analysing the fart going into the atmosphere. They're insane. Changing the cow's saliva, and they're getting massive funding for this. And you wouldn't be surprised, would you, if Billy G somewhere in there? Yeah, it's like a bat sign for him, isn't it? Even the word vaccine, Billy G appears. He's just there, empty. Anything to do with vaccines. But it's all about the cow farts and the prevention of God knows what. We don't know what they're up to, but it's similar to this Bovar stuff, however you pronounce this. This kicked off not that long ago. Do you remember this? Here in the UK, there's a big supplier called Arla. They do a lot of the milk, most of the milk. I believe they are, I think, the biggest supplier of milk and dairy products in the UK to the supermarkets. But don't worry, it kicked off. There were questions about how safe it is. It's an additive added to cow feed. And it kicked off, but when you look online, it's absolutely fine. According to the Food Standards Agency, the FSA, it's all good. It explains it's a food additive, reduces methane emissions from cows. It's another food additive. The idea, the objective is to sort out them cow farts, yeah, in whichever way that they can. Now it's vaccines, now it's changing saliva through the feed. God knows what it's doing, but as I mentioned, if you go online, you try and do any sort of research, all of it's just filled with misinformation, disinformation. Yeah, it's all good. Ta-ta.
Wow. So when is this technology available?